Hello everyone, welcome to another ODNT Spotlight. I'm your host, Steve DeWinter, and I have with us today a wonderful author. Her name is Michelle Lowe, and she is here to talk about her latest novel, Legacy, Volume 1. And I talked to her earlier about when you have Volume 1 in the title there, we expect more. So we'll definitely talk to her about what to expect up and coming. But let's go ahead and I really like this cover. There's a lot of elements in there. And so it's a very intriguing cover. It makes me want to go, what is the legacy? So let's go ahead and let's switch on over. Hello, Michelle. Welcome to ODNT, where we shine the spotlight on you.
Hello, hello.
All right, so tell us a little bit about Legacy. What is the story about?
Well, let's see. It's a fantasy adventure story. It's full of mystery and loss and mythological creatures with the elements of steampunk. And I say elements of steampunk because even though there are inventions and steam-powered machines, I've decided to start the series off on a build-up towards the peak of the Industrial Revolution. And Legacy, in turn, threads fantasy with steampunk.
Nice.
In the next series that I have planned, The Age of the Machines, that takes place like 46 years after Legacy, there will be much more machinery and technology and less fantasy.
So that's the next book in it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because you mentioned, or not mentioned, but you spoiled everyone. It says Volume 1 on the cover. And so you've got how many books planned for this series?
For the Legacy series, there's going to be 6. And I already have 5 out of the 6 written already.
Wow. So it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
It's not this. I think I'll do 6 books, and you'll get bored after the second book. And then we never know what happens.
Nope, all but one is written out.
Oh, excellent! And so, are they completely written out to the narrative, or are they just in outline form?
No, they're all. There's tweaking that needs to be done to each of them.
So you have entered the editing phase on 5 of the 6 books. Well, you've published 1, and the next 4 are in the editing phase now already.
Yes.
Wow, that's impressive. And that's smart too. So, because you get them all done, and then you're able to have the series available for you. So that are you planning to release these like once every couple months, or what was your inspiration to just write out almost the entire series before the first book came out?
Well, I wanted to make sure that everything in like all the little details interlinked with each book. And after I wrote everything out, like I added chapters to every book. I included a whole bunch of other stuff into it, and it ties in beautifully with all the other books. So if I went ahead and released the first one, I would completely regret it because there was so much more that I put into the first book after I've gotten the rest of them written out.
Ah, yes. I ran into that when I was doing a series. I put the first book out, and then I write the next book, and I'm like, oh, it'd be so cool if I added this little tidbit right in here in the first book, but it was already out.
Yeah.
So that is brilliance.
Thank you.
Absolute brilliance. Do the whole series first so that any little tidbits that come in that you give the hint in the first book and then it comes to play in the 4th book. That's awesome. Readers are going to love that. And I went and I read through the first chapter, or I guess the prologue, because then after that it said chapter 1. So I read through the prologue and I was like, okay, I'll just read a little bit. And then I'm reading and reading, and okay, I'll read a little bit more. Like, oh boy. You know, I got some stuff I got to do, but I kept reading it. It wouldn't let me go.
Aw.
and you know, I read lots of stories, and I can easily just stick a bookmark in it and come back to it later. But that one, it was really hard to let go.
Thank you.
It kept adding more and layering more, and it was really good. And so I urge everyone, if you're watching this, I have the link below for Legacy. On Amazon, and you can go ahead and take a look at the preview there, and you will see what I saw, and it won't let you go and just keep wanting to read and keep reading and keep reading. And that's the true mark of a very good story. It's one of those ones that you'll like, one more chapter, just one more chapter, and then it's 3 a.m, and you're like, oh no.
I love reading books like that.
Yeah, those are fun, and that's why you want to write books like that.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. So this was not the first book you've written.
No.
You've written some other books, and you wrote, I guess, the first 3 of your books in a very interesting location. Where was that? I took a peek on some of your history.
Well, Atlantic Pyramid takes place in the Bermuda Triangle. And I decided to write a story that in a setting that hasn't really been written about. So it just came about.
Yeah, well, we have lots of nonfiction books about the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
And everything, but I was actually thinking about where you physically were sitting when you were writing these novels.
Oh, let's see. The first 3 that I did, The Warning, Cherished Thief, and Atlantic Pyramid, I was actually working as a movie projectionist. And if I wasn't starting a movie or building a print-up, I was writing.
Excellent. So that, because you have seen this movie 1,000 times, right?
Exactly.
So you start the reel going, you've got 20 minutes of uninterrupted time unless you have a break, right?
Right.
And so I thought that was very interesting. A lot of us try to write at work, when we're getting started on the writing and we have other jobs and the writing is a side thing that we're trying to build up to make it our full time. We always want that.
Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting that you're writing these in a movie theater. While there's a story going on for everybody out there, you're writing a whole new story right here.
Yeah, it was at the time, there's no such thing as projectionist anymore. But
It's all digital.
It's all digital. I actually quit on New Year's because we were moving to Florida, and after that, I knew I wasn't going to be a projectionist again, which was fine because it was like 9 years of being a projectionist. I was kind of burnt out anyway.
You'd seen every movie 100 times.
Not every movie. There's a lot of movies I wouldn't want to see. I just start them up.
Yeah, everybody hates playing Trivial Pursuit with you because you know all the movies.
Yeah.
Excellent. So this book here, The Legacy, just came out August 28th. So it's brand new. And what can we expect from you? I know you've got the next 4 books written out, and then you're working on the final book, I'm sure. And what kind of release schedule can we expect? Does this one end with the cliffhanger? I haven't read it all the way to the end yet.
Yeah, actually they all will end in cliffhangers, except for the last one, of course. Well, actually, maybe the last one, too.
Ooh, so there might be more.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a next series, so...
Excellent. So what kind of release schedule, now that we know that there are cliffhangers, what makes everyone upset when they go, I hate cliffhangers. It's not that they hate cliffhangers, it's that they can't get that instant gratification to see what happens next. We love cliffhangers if I can get the next one now.
It depends on editing. I have my mentor, actually, my writing mentor, she's going to help me with editing. So it's working around her schedule because she has a whole business of her own. So it's between which she can fit me in, fit my story in, and her own business that she's running.
Oh, excellent, excellent. But
so hopefully soon. I'm hoping within the beginning of next year.
Oh, good, good. But at least we now know that the books are already written, which means they will be coming.
Yes.
So that's, phew. So tell us a little bit about the characters of the story. Where did you come up with the concept of writing this story?
It was basically the story itself. It just came in little pieces for me, and I was just kind of thinking I would like to write a story with steampunk elements in it, and with some fantasy and science fiction and all that. And little by little, this my brain was threading in parts of the story until it became a big clump, and I was just like, okay, I'm ready to write this. So I sat down and I thought about the characters, and some of the characters I just kind of made up as I went along. But let's see, the main character, Pierce Landcross, he's a gypsy-born turned thief, famous thief, and let's see. in the first book, it begins when let's see, when a kindly old automaton maker named Indigo Peachtree, he's being hunted by a ruthless lord named Tarquin Norwich.
Uh-oh.
And he wants him and his journal, and the only way he'll be able to find either if he catches Pierce and his brother Joaquin. And so Tarquin sends his two children, let's see, Archie and Clover, to go catch Pierce while Tarquin goes after Joaquin. But the crafty thief, he gets away. But instead
of course,
instead of fleeing, he goes back to England for the toymaker, and when he does, he'll face some dangers and a horrible past he'd much rather leave behind.
Oh, cool. But yeah, I was looking through this, and as much as you're doing a steampunk sci-fi, you also have a lot of fantasy elements within it, which I think it enhances it, makes it so much better.
Thank you.
And especially the characters we meet in the very, very, very beginning. And you got me with it. I won't spoil it for anyone who's going to go check out the preview, but as you were going through, I'm like, okay, and then you got me. I'm like, oh, so nice. And everything. So what was it like to do a steampunk novel? I know that, steampunk always say, well, you just throw in a few gears and throw in some gadgets and set it in the Victorian times and we'll call it steampunk. But how did you make this your own personal version of steampunk?
Well, I made sure that anything steampunk related in the book, it had a purpose, which is very important. Yeah, not just throwing in gears and and
just can't
saying,
throw
hey,
gears
there's
and goggles on it.
Exactly. If the character doesn't need goggles, then why wear them? But
exactly.
So that's one thing I made sure that every piece of steampunk did have a purpose. And I just wanted to put fantasy in it with it, because like you said, I just thought it added layers to it.
That's excellent. And so you're actually going to be at the upcoming Virtual FantasyCon 2015. And
Yes.
You're going to be in on Saturday. That's Saturday, November 7th. Steampunk Saturday.
Yes.
And everything. And we won't spoil it, but there's going to be a surprise. So you're definitely going to want to go check out Michelle's section, her table in the Virtual FantasyCon, because there's going to be some interesting new stuff that's going to be taking place there as well. There's a scavenger hunt that takes place, and you'll get all the rules at FantasyCon. For that.
I'm so stoked.
Yes, that's going to be so cool. And what's nice is that you've got your book here that's been out since the end of August. So it's been out for just a little over a month and a half, couple months now. And I loved reading it. I only read the first chapter, but we can always tell right away if it's going to be any good. And so
Appreciate
that's nice.
that.
And so what other things do you have planned? So you've got the 6 books in this one. You end on but wait, there's more. So what more can we expect from the great Michelle Lowe upcoming in the future?
Well, like I said, I'm planning on, I don't know when I'll start writing it, because I spent a solid year straight writing these 5 legacy books.
Wow.
Not including, I'm talking 12 hours a day.
Woo.
Solid writing. So I'm going to try not to binge write this time, because it took a lot of time, effort.
You get done, you look up, and you're like, the world's different.
Exactly. Like you come out of the closet, you're like, eyes are burning from the light. But the next series, The Age of the Machine, is, I haven't really plotted it out, but I do have lots of ideas that are coming. Again, little pockets of little ideas that are threading. So I'm going to start
come together eventually. Like, there's my story.
Exactly. I'm slowly developing a plot, so I'm going to start writing down outlines as soon as possible. As soon as I'm done, basically writing with the last piece of Legacy.
Excellent. So you like to do the outlining so that you can make sure that everything all interrelates throughout your series. So you don't just outline a single book. It sounds like you're outlining your series.
Yeah, exactly. I have to do it. I have to know where I'm going. I mean, an outline's, it's not a barbed wire fence, though. There's a lot of times where I've gone outside my own outline, but it's nice to know that it's there. So I'd rather be stuck on little pieces of the book and not the majority of exactly where the book is going, plot-wise.
And I liked how you called that. It's not a barbed wire fence. Sure, you create your outline, you have your path that you're going to take, but you can feel free to step outside and explore here, and then you can always come back to it. It's not a barbed wire fence. It's not going to keep you in or keep you out once you leave.
Exactly. It's like a compass. It just kind of points you in a way.
I like that. I'm going to use that. I'm going to steal that from you.
Go for it.
The outline is just a compass that tells you where you're going, but not necessarily how you have to get there.
There you go.
I love it. Excellent. So the Age of the Machines, I'll be keeping an eye out for that one. So that one sounds like more steampunk.
Yeah, I'm going to put a lot more steampunk in this next series. So I'm really excited about it.
So you got your taste of a somewhat steampunk in your your Legacy series. And you're like, I loved that. That was fun. So we're going to get more of that from you. Excellent. Yeah. All right. Well, I have covered most of the questions I had around Legacy. Is there anything that you want to add before we close out the interview here for people watching or people that are looking for the next great steampunk series to come out that also envelops fantasy elements and everything? Is there anything you would like to tell us about?
I can't really think of anything, but I really hope to see everybody at the Fantasy Con throughout the whole week. I'm going to keep an eye out on all the genres days that are going to be. Wander around, post comments, participate. Yeah.
Excellent. So as well as Michelle is specifically on Saturday, Steampunk Saturday, the virtual Fantasy Con goes from November 1st all the way through November 8th. So it's 8 fun and fantastical days. But you can definitely find Michelle on Saturday the 7th, as well as, so it sounds like she's going to be stomping around the convention all throughout the week. You might bump into her then. And then you can demand for her to get a signed copy from her. All right. Well, hey, thank you so very much, Michelle, for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And for those of you who are watching, I have the links as well as the blurb from Amazon below for Legacy. And so if you're watching this embedded in a website somewhere, just click on the little button over there that says Watch on YouTube, and then you can see all the description down below, as well as I've got the rest of Michelle's books. She's got a whole bunch of 5 other series, and she's got several books in some of those series. So she's got lots of books to choose from. While you're waiting for the next Legacy book to come out, she's got stuff for you to read for that. And I've also got to connect with Michelle. I have her website, her Facebook, and her Twitter also linked down below, so you can connect with her on there, and then you can find out as her books come out when they come out next. And hopefully she'll come back on the show as each book comes out, and we'll promote those as well.
I would love that.
Oh, that'd be great. So, hey, thank you so very much, Michelle. Don't hang up just yet. I will come back. We'll chat for a couple more minutes. But thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
All right. So that was Michelle Lowe with Volume 1 in her Legacy series. And I still love that cover. I can't wait to see how the other covers are going to look for that. And once again, I'm Steve DeWinter for ODNT Spotlight. Let's move out of the spotlight here. It's covering up my face. So move out of the spotlight here. And hey, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We are shining the spotlight on many more authors, artists, actors, musicians, all sorts of great, wonderful people. And have yourself a great day. Bye.